I really believe that omega-3 is one of the most important nutrients that we should be focusing on during pregnancy. Omega-3 is essential for the development of your baby's eyes and brain, and a lack of omega-3 is believed to increase the risk of postnatal depression. In high-risk pregnancies, a higher intake of long-chain omega-3 has also been shown to reduce the risk of premature births. It's well known that fish is the best source of omega-3. The problem is that many women avoid fish altogether during pregnancy as they're worried about listeria and mercury toxicity. As omega-3 is so important during pregnancy, I really want to focus on what you can eat to help you boost your omega-3 intake. Let me take you through my top 4 favourite options. Topping the list is salmon steak. Salmon steak is seriously rich in omega-3, containing around 2,000 milligrams per serve. Obviously, it needs to be well cooked to minimise any listeria risk. Although it contains some mercury, the amount is a lot less than many fish, so as long as you're not eating it more than 3 times per week, you should be fine. You can either purchase salmon steak fresh from a reputable fishmonger at the market or frozen from your local supermarket. It's quick to cook and can be eaten either as steak or with some salad or steamed veg, or added to pasta or risotto. I'd also recommend leaving the skin on and eating the skin, as that's where most of the omega-3 is. Okay, number 2 is tin tuna. Canned tuna generally has lower levels of mercury than fresh tuna because the tuna used for canning are smaller species that are generally caught when they're less than 1 year old. The Food Standard Authority of Australia and New Zealand advises that it is safe for pregnant women to eat a small can of tuna every day if they're not eating any other fish. Canned tuna is an incredibly handy lunch option and has a low risk of listeria, so it's a great choice to include in your diet throughout pregnancy. A can of tuna contains approximately 350 milligrams of omega-3 fats, so it's a good way to bump up your omega-3 intake. My third recommendation is canned sardines. Now, I have to admit that I hesitated for just a minute before adding this to my list because they are quite high in salt, so be careful if you have high blood pressure. But they are such a rich source of omega-3, boasting a whopping 2,400 milligrams per 100 grams, and they have one of the lowest amounts of mercury of any fish. Being canned, they also have a very low risk of listeria toxicity, and they're also a great source of calcium. If you haven't tried them before, the easiest place to start is to buy some reduced salt canned sardines from your local supermarket and put them into a sandwich, salad, or on top of dry crackers as you would tin tuna. Fourth place goes to trout. Trout is also incredibly rich in omega-3 fats, containing around 1,500 milligrams of omega-3 in a 100 gram serve. Yet, it is relatively low in mercury. As trout is usually eaten fresh, you'll need to be careful of listeria. Only purchase trout from reputable fishmongers and be aware of freezing, thawing, and refreezing. Ideally, you want to eat it as fresh as possible, but don't let listeria stop you from eating trout. Just be sensible with your food hygiene. For those of you who are still feeling hesitant about eating fish during pregnancy, try increasing your intake of vegetarian omega-3 foods. Linseeds are one of the best vegetarian sources of omega-3 fats. Linseeds are also known as flax seeds, which can be a bit confusing. The type of omega-3 in linseeds is known as ALA, and it needs to be converted into the longer chain omega-3, which is found in fish and known for its incredible health benefits. Unfortunately, you need to eat a lot of vegetarian ALA omega-3 to meet your requirements of the long-chain omega-3, but it's better than nothing. You can increase your intake of linseeds by swapping to a soy and linseed bread, adding a spoon of linseeds to a salad for some additional crunch, or sprinkling some ground linseeds, sunflower seeds, and almonds, known as LSA mix, over your breakfast cereal or into a smoothie. The best thing about eating vegetarian sources of omega-3 is that there are no worries at all about listeria or mercury. The other option for boosting your omega-3 intake is to take an omega-3 supplement. I'd really encourage you to try to get omega-3 from your diet, as eating fish has so many other health benefits in addition to omega-3. Download my meal planner from the link below to plan out when you're going to eat fish during the week so that you're getting all your 3 serves. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to watch today's episode. I care about you and I really hope that you found it valuable. Now, as you guys know, the best way to get results is to be accountable. So I'd love you to leave a note about what you found most impactful or how you're going to translate this advice into action in the comments box below. I promise you that I will read every single comment. And if you haven't subscribed already, make sure that you hit the subscribe button so that you get alerts whenever I post another episode. I'd also love you to join us at our live chat about today's episode on Facebook Live. For those who are interested, I'm also going to be posting some additional tips and tricks about this on my website, so come over and visit me at melaniemcgrice.com. Oh, and when you come over, make sure that you register for one of my free meal plans. That will register you as part of my community and give you access to my private coaching emails, some special giveaways, and some special things which I just don't share anywhere else. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time on Nourish. My online program, 8 Simple Steps to a Healthy Pregnancy, is coming up. Want more energy and vitality during your pregnancy? Join us by registering at melaniemcgrice.com/enroll.